Hello everyone. I hope everyone's having a wonderful day, and I just wanted to thank everyone for taking interest in the Dan Markel murder case and the Charles Adelson trial, because I do think this is a case of high public interest, and we're looking at Charlie's call logs to see who he's talking to, because I think it is important to the case to know what's going on behind the scenes. And I want to thank the Tallahassee jail for giving me these documents, and also I'm so excited to share them with you, and I'm glad that you guys are seeing the purpose in that. So before I get into sharing the details with you, I also wanted to thank my mom for scouring these pages of the call logs, and I do not have access to the actual phone calls. Believe me, I have tried. I will just tell you guys who Charlie's talking to. The month of September is mostly what these calls focus on, and I'm going to also put in a request for October records as well. Charlie did get into some trouble with other inmates in September, so also he had the Arthur hearing, so this is going to be interesting to see where his head is at and what his state of mind was in the month of September. So I'm going to go ahead and send it to that video right now. Hello everybody, thank you for joining me to look over Charlie's call logs for the month of September, and I just wanted to share with you this month's call logs, especially because this was a month that was filled with a lot of incidents with Charlie entering back into the general population of the jail around September 20th, and with the Arthur hearing around September 9th, there was a flurry of phone calls. So let me just get right into what the findings were for mostly the month of September. We have a little bit of August and a little bit into October, but it's mostly September. So these are Charlie's phone calls from August 29th into October 6th. In these 38 days, he made 488 phone calls. Previously, from August 1st to August 28th, in those 28 days, he made 399 phone calls. In the latest call record for August 29th through October 6th, Charlie made the most phone calls to his lawyers. He made 165 phone calls to his lawyers at Marcus Neiman and Rashbaum. And we've also discovered that Catherine Myers has been more involved in Charlie's case. And he made 155 phone calls to Donna, his mother, Donna Adelson, 96 phone calls to other, and we label this other because these are phone calls that are not in great relevance to the case, but I will come back to that one later. Charlie made 50 phone calls to the mother of his child, Bree, and he made 15 phone calls to Janice Manning, who we have speculated that Janice might be his friend or therapist in some capacity, because she is, I believe, a licensed therapist. And he made 7 phone calls to Harvey. So let me get into the breakdown of how that differentiated from last month's phone calls in August that I covered. So we have this pie chart here, and it shows that this month, 32% of the phone calls were to his lawyers, and that is down 1% from last month. We have 30% of the phone calls to Donna, and that is up 3%, because remember that Charlie did have a traumatic month being bullied in jail, so he probably wants to talk to his mom a little bit more about it. So 21% of the phone calls were to other. That is down 4%, and I'll definitely come back to that category later because I found some interesting people that Charlie is calling in the other category. 10% of the phone calls were to Bree, and that is an increase of 9%. So possibly the news of Charlie hearing that he was denied the bail was probably very disappointing. I'm sure he wants to see his son and maybe get some comfort from the mother of his child, maybe talk to his son a little bit more, maybe that his child is talking now and he wants to hear a friendly voice on the other end. I also speculate that Bree could possibly be giving him money to put on his jail account. If he can kind of talk her into it, I'm sure that it's worth a phone call. And then the 5% on this chart is Janice Manning, who is his friend possibly, or therapist, and those are down 4%. And I'm guessing that if he is paying Janice for therapy, that you probably only need to talk to a therapist like once or twice a month at the most. If he's not doing too horribly, this should show that his mental state isn't bad enough to be talking to Janice more often if he is looking to her for some kind of therapy. Moving on to Harvey, he calls Harvey 2% of the time, and that is down 3%. And also keeping in mind that he could be passing the phone back and forth to his mother, and Harvey could be talking on the phone and could be counted as the same, one and the same, but he does seem to call Donna's number the most, much more than Harvey's number. So my mom also wanted to remind you that keep in mind the calls to Harvey could be shared with the calls to Donna and vice versa. Among those calls to other were calls to trade alerts and brokerage websites as the stock market was tanking. There were noticeably more calls to Bree and less to Janice Manning. There were a rash of long calls to lawyers Donna, Janice, and Bree from September 22nd through September 26th. And that is the same time that Charlie was to change from protective custody to the public pod, when there was a theft of Charlie's MP3 player and threats were made to his life. He seems to call Donna after talking with Bree and his lawyers. His phone time is limited, so he has long calls to her and others. 4 times in a row. He calls Bree. His calls to Bree are noticeably longer in duration. That's some interesting information, you guys. I definitely think that it's probably good that Charlie's talking to his son. You know, our thoughts and prayers go out to Charlie Adelson's child and hope that he might have a normal life and grow up to be a great person, despite what his grandparents and father and possibly his aunt have done. But, you know, miracles do happen, you guys, and hopefully we can gather some interesting information from this, that Charlie is like still interested in his stock trading, possibly to get more money to pay for his legal fees, possibly because he thinks he'll get out of jail. So time will tell, and we're gathering a little bit more information every day going into Charlie Adelson's trial. It's kind of a slow plod to the trial. It looks like it will be a slam dunk, but you know, we never know. We still have to work for getting more information and uncovering the truth, and you guys are so great at that. So thank you so much for watching my channel and everybody supporting this Justice for Dan movement. And check out the other case I'm covering, the Ellen Greenberg case, where it was said to not be a murder, but most people definitely think otherwise. So if you want another case to get into, I'm going to be sharing a video on that, and definitely check it out. But I hope everyone is having a wonderful day and a really great holiday season coming up on the horizon, and just give your family the warmest hugs and smiles going into the holiday, and have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching and liking and subscribing.